YouTube, what is going on? We are back with another Wuthering Waves video. We're playing Wuthering Waves, and I wanted to discuss something that I've seen a lot, and my opinion has kind of changed on. So we're just gonna get straight into it. Fobmaster tweeted something that I think a lot of people were thinking, realistically. A lot of people saw Zani's design. I'm going to just pull up Zani another tab real quick. Zani looks amazing. Easily, possibly the most anticipated character of the patch. I don't know if maybe they thought people would anticipate this character as much, depending on, like, look at someone like Carlotta or Phoebe or Brand's design. Her design is way much more simplistic, but still beautiful. Wood, right? And so Fob tweeted this saying, Wuthering Waves, please don't make Zani a shield supporter. Surely she used her shield to beat people up and not become a shield quick swap support. Stone Cold, what do you think? What? Yeah, he said no. He said no. So, let's talk about this. Because, although I would be disappointed, there's Legions gooning, why is her ass flying? Although I'd be a little disappointed if I just saw that comment. I'd be a little disappointed if she's a shielder. I understand it. And I think that the outrage for shielders, because I said this on stream the other day as well, I don't like the thought of a shielder in Wuthering Waves. I don't. Personally, I don't like the thought of a Zhongli shielder. And what I mean by that is someone who just strictly scales off of HP or defense, and all you have to do is skill with them, and that's it. You will not die. You are invulnerable, because all it does is completely negates all of the mechanics that are parrying, dodging, counter attack, whatever it's called. When I'm losing my mind right now. You do a quick dodge, and then you attack after, whatever it is. It negates all of those, right? So I don't want to be in a situation where we are continuously just ignoring everything, right? Now, that was my initial thought process at first, but when we look at what we have in the video game, we have a Boba as a shielder, and me personally, I don't like her. I don't like her playstyle. I don't like the way that she acquires shields. The only real valuable thing she has in my eyes is resonant skill damage amplification by 38%. And then we have Johnshin. And I've been very outspoken about Johnshin. I'm actually going to be making a video soon testing them, real Johnshin. Their shield takes forever to generate as well. And obviously, this is a 5-star. When you get more sequences, I believe their shield could potentially get better. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I remember someone telling me that if you get like S4, S5, her shield's like infinite. I'm like, oh, congratulations. You've lost 5 to 6 50-50s. You're an absolute loser, right? So these characters aren't really the strongest shielders in the game. And when it comes down to it, someone like Camilla, whether we want to admit it or not, could really benefit from a shielder. Forget the fact that she is on the vines and she's hanging and you sometimes have to stop your attack to parry, but more the fact that when she does that little attack, when she has the ephemeral and she slams, I get interrupted, and so do a lot of people get interrupted. I think it's S2 to get interruption resistance on that attack, or is it S1, I believe? Immune to interruptions while casting ephemeral. Yeah, so like, having the interruption resistance behind S1, it's a little annoying, and it happens more often. And it's not like a, oh my god, I don't know, it's not like a how do I say it? It's not so frustrating to the point where it's not, you can't deal with it, and you're not going to run Camilla ever again, right? But it is noticeably there, and Kazahana even tweeted previously, I should probably pull up the tweet, that people on Facebook are asking for a character like Zhongli due to the fact that a lot of people are struggling with the ephemeral. And now, again, I know we could obviously just say, haha, LOL skill issue, go screw yourself. But at the end of the day, the truth is that this game is catered towards casual. So I tried to come at the game from a completely casual perspective, in the sense of I understand that I'm a hardcore player. I play it all the time. I am a core robot, right? I'm not, but I understand that people struggle. It's not even just with holograms, and it's not just with TOA. It is with just general content sometimes. I think the game is personally easy, but people can definitely struggle, especially with some of those new bosses that are coming out. Like, people are going to be upset. People are going to be struggling. Let me not say upset, but people are going to be struggling, right? So if they had to include a shielder, now this is just big sidebar. She absolutely could just be using a shield in this animation, similar to, like, let's say Mika and Genshin, where they use a sword and then like a crossbow as well, right? 100% could be bait. But let's go with the assumption that she is a shielder. How can you make this work in the confines of the video game? Where it's not an HP bot, it's not a defense bot, and you're not just sitting there pretty much taking no damage 24/7. I've come up with an idea that I think is pretty valid, and my idea is a shield aura in the sense where you have interruption resistance as opposed to just a straight up shield. If you were to get a shield aura from a skill, a burst, an outro, whatever the case may be, you are simply taking minimal damage, maybe 60-70% less damage, and interruption resistance for about 5 seconds, right? 5-6 seconds, whatever it is. I just feel like that way in which the character is not too broken, too busted, and you don't have to worry about getting interrupted with Chang Li, Camilla, or really any other character that you're working with, because it does happen, right? I mean, again, for people who play the game that are very skilled at the game, people like myself, they really only get interrupted like Camilla, but this does happen. This is a real thing that is going on in the casual world, and so I don't think that if you create interruption resistance, like maybe 60 to 70% damage loss from the enemy side, like, 60 to 70% damage reduction, I'm tired. I don't think that's a big deal, and I don't think that is really game breaking, especially it's only for a couple seconds, right? So even if you made it only last maybe like 2 or 3 hits, forget the seconds, right? Because, a shield is HP based. Your shield has 100% max capacity. Each hit you get hit with, it knocks it down more. So even if you didn't want to go that route, but I think there are ways, and I truthfully trust Koro Games to make Zani not just a random shield bot. I was actually going to just play some gameplay in the background, or while we have this going, while we're just yapping. But yeah, I think overall, there's a way around it, right? Again, she could possibly just be using that as like a prop or whatever the case may be. But if it is just a shield bot, and you negate all of the mechanics in the game, everyone is just going to roll them and then steamroll everything. And realistically, that doesn't matter. At the end of the day, this is a PvE game. There is no PvP. It is casual, catered towards casuals. And if casuals want to roll for a character that allows them to steamroll through content, then that's perfectly fine. But I just think that it's a little weird if they were to go that route. So I'm hoping that they have some sort of more intricate process behind the fact if she is just a main shielder, right? Because if that's the case, I think it would be a little disappointing. I think a lot of people would be disappointed about that, at least more on the hardcore side, because realistically, like, you gotta parry, you gotta dodge. Like, this is why this game is good. Genshin Impact is, I think, a very easy game as well, but Zhang Li conditioned me to not dodge. When I would do abyss clears on accounts that didn't have Zhang Li, when I first started playing the game and first started taking it serious, I would struggle because I'm like, why would I dodge? I just have Zhang Li, and then once my shield breaks, or if it's close, or if it expires, I just recast my shield, right? And so I just don't want Wuthering Waves to go down that route, because I think if we go down that route, it's a little bit of a slippery slope, you know what I'm saying? And it really makes a lot of other teammates or things feel useless. So I prefer they don't do that. I would really like some sort of spin. Again, damage reduction, 60-70%, still take some sort of damage. What did she do? Actually, what did Phoebe do here as well? So Phoebe had like a staff of some sorts that like made a little bit of a shield as well. So I'm hoping, I'm praying that it's not straight up a shield. A lot of people are saying Gunblade or whatever it is from like Monster Hunter like turns it out. It's like an actual thing you can hit them with. That would be sick. I don't know if that's the case though, right? So, it seems like they're just blocking an attack there. So, I think we are reading a little too deep into it. But while we're reading too deep into it, I think it is fun to have these type of conversations. What would you recommend? If she is a shielder, how do you think it should work? Should it just be a normal thing where like, hey, listen, they got a shield and that's it? Or do you think it should really go any other route? Because I don't want the shields in the game, but I understand it. I do, especially for the people who are not as skilled. So it's an interesting thing, pizza. Yeah, it feels a little iffy, feels a little stinky. I'm not going to lie to you, but we'll see what happens. I don't think that should kill any of the hype for Rinascita for people. I don't think that should kill really any expectations, because overall, Rinascita already just looks beautiful. So yeah, with that being said, that's my thoughts on the shield and how I would personally deal with it. Or actually thinking of something, maybe you could make the shield do damage. Like, let's say for example, it's a shield. This just came to my mind, but it has a lower HP scale or lower HP, so it doesn't take as much damage, or it takes less hits to break. But when it breaks, it does some sort of massive AOE attack, right? A stun, a taunt, something like that. I like. There's just endless ways they can make the shield interesting. And so Tauchi and Johnson don't have interesting shields. They're just straight up shields, right? So I'm hoping and praying that they do something interesting with it. If they don't, it's not the end of the world. It's not EOS. But it would definitely be dope if they didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, boys, I love you. I'll see you in the next one. And definitely EOS not incoming. I promise you. I swear it's not EOS. Trust me.